The other thing I wanted to cover outside of the markets and venture stuff is M&A.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is just
Hot.
It basically feels like you had this, it's, like a dam. I'm picturing like the Hoover Dam or something. And there's just all this water getting backed up for years. And then like dam just opens and the floodgates opens. I think what you're seeing is, there's no M&A for several years, just dead, no M&A. And now you're seeing several years of M&A compressed into a 1 year time.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Just regulations opened up.
Yeah.
I just think it's regulations opened up. And now the industry is mature enough where people are saying, I'm going for the jugular. I'm trying to take the crown right now.
Part of my pitch is, there's these foundations that have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? The Ethereum Foundation. Consensus kind of tried to do this, but it was too early. And I asked them, hey, what did AOL do in the peak of the dot-com bubble?
But, yeah, Time Warner.
They swallowed
Biggest,
Time Warner, biggest acquisition of the time, and they used their currency, which was totally inflated. They knew that. I mean, straight face, run any valuation methodology around that. Yeah. And they bought a real business.
Yeah.
What was the largest acquisition that just happened to date, ever
in crypto? Well, there was the Ripple NinjaTrader one. Excuse me, Kraken NinjaTrader one was 1.5. But Ripple just bought Hidden Road for 1.25.
Yeah. So the second largest, but let's unpack that.
Yeah.
Especially the Ripple one.
Yeah, Ripple. This one's interesting. So for people who don't know, Hidden Road was started in 2018 by this guy Mark Ash. He was an exec at who's the guy that SAC Capital, Point72. He's an exec from Point72. Set up the shop in like global shop, Netherlands, UK. I think they're actually headquartered in the BVI. Shout out Nick Carter. I think they backed them. They led the first round in 2018. Basically, they are an institutional prime brokerage firm, right? So they do clearing, financing. They clear more than 3 trillion annually across markets.
Not just crypto.
Not just crypto. So they actually started as an FX firm and then expanded into crypto. 300 institutional clients. Everyone from like Wintermute to Virtu trades on them. Oh. And they're a massive, massive, massive clearinghouse. They don't do any prop trading in house. Very they promote like conflict free, very tech forward. I actually met with one of the founders the other day. A phenomenal firm. And yeah, so they clear like FX, equities, commodities, digital assets, crypto, fixed income, cross margining capabilities across all of those. Massive firm. They just got bought by Ripple. Just bought them for $1.25 billion.
So what's going inside of Brad's brain when he decided to buy that?
Genius. Ripple willed a not the most what is the polite way to put this? What I think was a very retail driven idea, which is using XRP as a clearance currency.
Right.
Obviously that's never going to work. You can't have like a volatile asset as a clearing currency. Ripple and Brad and David and that whole team willed this basically like silly idea, which was using XRP as a clearance currency into reality by just, basically shilling this thing for years, getting the token to go up, using the capital, and now building a massive war chest. And they are turning Ripple into a real business.
They will will it into existence.
This thing is I
will give them the most amount of credit because this is what every foundation should be doing.
There's another, I would say the other person who did this strategy is Sergey at Chainlink.
Yes.
Sergey turned a meme Link, which was a meme coin, into a war chest of capital, into a company that has hundreds of employees and does deals that are 8-figure deals with L1s and L2s.
You will it into existence. And there's always a fake it till you make it kind of thing in every, and there's a fine line of how you walk that.
Yeah. Hidden Road is a extremely legitimate business. And
this is the pitch for inversion, quite literally.
Build a war chest of capital and then acquire real businesses. 100%. And I think this is genius. I think Brad, totally. I don't care what people say about Ripple anymore Brad Garlinghouse is a phenomenal operator.
He not just in crypto, he might go down as one of the best evangelists.
But just think about what we're saying. A year ago, I would have been like ragging on Ripple and ragging on. This tells me that they're serious. This is
they might go and become bigger than Ethereum.
Yeah, we did this episode that you weren't on with Charlie Noyes from Paradigm,
right?
And BAM, who just raised for Mesh. They just raised $82 million from Paradigm and Stablecoin clearinghouse. And I said, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? And he said, don't sleep on RLUSD. Don't sleep on
Right.
Ripple stablecoin.
Yeah.
And
Look, and we talked about that. What other company gets mocked? Large protocol gets mocked and doesn't get enough credit by OG crypto, purists.
other than Ripple,
There's one very obvious one.
Solana,
Tron.
oh yeah.
And I will give
Yeah.
Tron credit where it's due.
Yeah.
They have been instrumental, boots on the ground, of evangelizing and deploying, so to speak, USDT.
Yeah.
Like, what percentage of USDT happens on Tron? What is it?
60?
60, 70%? Yeah.
Roughly. I'm probably getting that wrong.
Massive.
60, 70. Yeah.
And everyone in crypto laughed at Justin and Justin and whatever.
Yeah.
But again, that just tells you the reason why USDT has been so dominant in the stablecoin market. They preserve basically 75% of all stablecoins in circulation.
Yeah.
And I think, take a long-term view, that's, if there's other players in the market that are going to be degraded, it's not necessarily them, because they've been so focused on deploying it.
Let me tell you why this Ripple acquisition is so interesting. So they're clearing 3 trillion annually. What database are they using to clear that? I don't know, either like Solana or Ethereum or an L2 or traditional databases or MongoDB or whatever. They're going to move that all onto the XRP ledger, and they're going to clear those trades in RLUSD. And if you think about why Tether and USDC, the real usage of stablecoins right now is a clearing mechanism for trading houses. Now there's some like real world adoption, stuff like that in emerging markets with Tether, but it's really just clearing and settling. And I mean, they're buying a platform that can then serve up their own stablecoin, and look at Circle and Coinbase and Tether's revenues. This thing's going to pay for itself in a few years.